Hello! Today is a glorious day. This is just a great day for America. It's a great day for America, everybody. Because... I don't know if anyone gets that stupid reference. But anyway, they finally banned Iteration. Iteration was cracked. In Delver has always had this one-for-one mentality, right? Where you had to trade one of your resources with one of their cards. One for one, right? And it had no card advantage. You go back into the history of Delver, it never had card advantage. But Iteration gave it card advantage, right? It could just keep the pace with any deck. And it had stupid Mystic Sanctuary. So you basically had unlimited expressive iterations with your dazes. Like, oh, daze your spell, get back expressive iteration. You know, like, this was expressive iterations 4, 5, and sometimes 6. Or, you know, 4, 5, 6 in a game was off this was off Sanctuary. This card was bananas. It was better than Treasure Cruise, in my opinion, because Treasure Cruise required a setup. It wasn't just the best top deck at all times after turn 4. Which is what expressive iteration is. It's just the best top deck was too broken. Just glad it's gone. And the initiative is just an unbalanced, broken mechanic that is not fun to play against and oppressive and ridiculous and poorly tested, poorly designed, poorly implemented. I cannot say a good word about the initiative. It's just poor. The implementation, the way it was put out, the way it was designed. It's a multiplayer thing. It's designed for multiplayer. And it does not belong in Legacy. It's way too strong. It is just a creature that is a planeswalker. And it's wild how strong it is. The only deck that could beat it was Delver because it had flying ways to take the initiative back. But it's just when it does what it wants to do and turn 1's you and then turn 2's you, it was egregious. Yeah, not only a huge oversight that it made it to Legacy, but like it's just so strong. It kills you so fast. Like they'll cast a turn 1 guy and then you're dead on turn 3. You know, it's wild. But anyway, it's reduced now, so they banned the cheap one. They banned the 3-drop White Plume, right? So they banned White Plume Adventure. White Plume. Let's see if I can show it. I probably should look this thing up beforehand, but it was just kind of stupid. It was incredibly powerful, not very fun to interact with, and I'm glad it's gone. So, what does that mean? What does that mean for us? It means that there was a time in which this channel was devoted to Storm. I played Storm all the fucking time. It was about a year ago at this point. I loved Storm. I played Storm all the time. I had quite a bit of success with Storm in its day, in its time. And then I just slowly kept losing. I just kept getting wrecked. And I wasn't sure what it was, but basically Iteration was rough, right? Because you play this game with Storm where you're grinding them out of counterspells, and they just be like, oh, Iteration. I've just drawn a counterspell plus progress my board. Plus, it let them dig out of the hole that we were able to put them in with Duress and Thoughtseize. So our game plan was kind of nullified by just one iteration. Because our game plan is like grind their hand, attack their hand, attack their hand, attack their hand, put them into a position where they just don't have any more counterspells that kill them. And when they could just cast Expressive Iteration every turn, it's very hard to grind them out of counterspells. Now it's going to be significantly easier to do that. So we're gonna go, and hopefully the initiative won't be so broken. Hopefully the initiative decks will kind of disappear. There's always going to be these like Ancient Tomb, City of Traders decks in Legacy that are just miserable to play against. You know, the decks that are trying to turn one chalice you, right? Those decks are just the worst to play against. And they're basically... Chalice of the Void is the bane of Legacy Storm. Chalice of the Void, but like, if you look here, you know, there's all kinds of crazy just decks that are trying to just dump a chalice. Like Mono Red Prison, right? With just a bunch of cities. You know. So we're gonna see how the format feels. We're gonna see what the initiative deck turns into. Because there are a lot of people with the initiative deck that are gonna keep trying to play it. So it's... But the bottom line is that this is the Storm deck that I used to play. I used to love it. I have fallen out of love with it a little bit. But I don't know if that's my own laziness or if it's just the deck's bad and I need to embrace reality or what. But the last couple times that I've played it, I've just gotten trounced by expressive iteration. I began to lose faith with it when they printed Maddening Hex and Delver started playing Counterbalance in the main deck. Or just Counterbalance. That was pretty much the breaking point for me. Was Delver playing Counterbalance. And Counterbalance is cracked. And for people who think, oh, just add Abrupt Decays. I mean, the strength of this deck is the mana, right? That you could play basics and fetch basics. And when you have to start fetching 4-color mana against the deck that's playing Wastelands, like, you're just going to put yourself in a very rough position. So, I don't know. Maybe I was just too stubborn and stuck to Grixis for too long, as opposed to embracing certain realities of green or other things. But I did have a ridiculous amount of success playing this deck at its time. I won back-to-back challenges in different weekends. You know, I top-8'd all the time. That was a long time ago. Maybe I didn't win back-to-back challenges in Legacy, but I was top-8'ing very often with this deck in the format when I was in the full swing of things. And we're going to attempt to reignite that spark, or at least figure out what's going wrong and figure out what changes we need to make to bring Storm back to the top. And with that being said, well, let's go over the deck a little bit. So, Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordains, right? 4 of the best cards, you know, 4 of the best digs ever printed. You know, Brainstorm's obviously busted, Preordain, Ponder. These are the weaker ones, obviously, Preordain being the weakest. But, you know, you're just digging for your solution. You're just trying to establish... You basically have to think about Storm in terms of, like, an explosion, in a way, right? Where you have, like, you want to clear the way, right? You want to clear the way, you want to find your... This is basically your gasoline, right? You need your gasoline, and then you need a card to light a match, essentially. It's a weird analogy, but it's kind of how I think of Storm. Where you have, like, all this stuff, which is, like, your gasoline, your disruption, your gasoline, and then your match, essentially. And your payout, your win cards are basically these 3 cards. Every game you're casting some number of these 3 cards, and you're ending with this card. You're either using Past in Flames or using Ad Nauseam. So essentially, you need to get enough gas in your hand, and then you need to light a match. And you need to make sure that that goes through. And that's with these cards, right? There's a lot of different ways to do it. This deck is incredibly fun to play. It's incredibly difficult to play. It's very hard, and I will fuck it up often on this stream, on this video, whatever you're watching on YouTube, whatever. We're going to fuck it up, but it's time to give it a shot. Essentially, the sideboard's a hot mess because there's a lot of different Burning Wish targets. So we have Pier, we have a second copy of Tendrils, we have Massacre, we have a Feed a Swarm. We also have a Consign to Oblivion, which looks a little out of place, but you can, it's a sorcery that you can wish for that's an instant speed bounce. So let's say someone plays something crazy like a turn 1 Leyline of the whatever, Leyline of the Sanctity or whatever. So you could just like Burning Wish for this and then kill them. Now, these are basically all the things you can wish for, these 7 cards. And I don't know if I need to keep them. I don't know about Feed the Swarm. I don't know how good it is. I don't know. We used to play this card. I used to play this card. What was the card? The card was Malevolent Hermit. The Hermit. I even made an emote for it on my little channel. But I used to play this guy all the time in this deck. But I found that he was a little weak to Pyroblast. And when Delver kind of pushed everything out, and then just having this get Pyroblasted felt pretty bad. So I kind of cut down on it. The control deck kind of disappeared. And it just became Delver as the only blue deck. So I kind of felt that this dude wasn't really necessary. So I got some Surgicals to play against Reanimator, because that deck's really fast and broken. We play the 4th Duress in the sideboard, so you can Burning Wish for a Duress, and if you need it, you can bring in the 4th Duress. If you're playing against, like, most decks, you just bring in the 4th Duress. And, you know, Meltdown, Anti-Artifact. We got some Bounce. I'm cutting the Hurkyl's Recall, because Echoing Truth pretty much does what it needs to do most of the time. Maybe we need the Hurkyl's Recall back. I haven't seen much of the mono-blue Prison-y deck. I see the mono-blue deck has moved more towards the Painter version. But if we see the mono-blue deck, we could definitely bring the Hurkyl's Recall back. But as of right now, we're going to jam in a league. No more talking. And we'll see how the deck performs. And give it a... See if we remember how to play Legacy. You know? I don't know if 15 lands is a perfect number, but there's a lot of basics you can, like, it's really important to fetch out basics, in my opinion. All right, what do we got? We got this hand's pretty sweet. Well, hello there. Well, hello. Hello there. I have to see if I remember how to count to 10. Arkin is a great streamer. Arkin's friend of the stream. If you don't know him, Legacy Council on Twitch. He's a great dude. He's a great dude. Great Legacy player. All right. Okay, so we've got our matches. We've got a little bit... I don't want to call it matches like that. But we got our tutor. We just got to find some more mana. We got our tutor. Well, there's some more mana. That seems... I think I keep it just like so. No. Alright, your turn. Nice and simple. Develop our hand. Thoughtseize them. What do we have here? So what is he up to? Ah, yes. Somebody brought a knife to a gunfight. Okay, this is fine though. Alright. So let's... They're probably not playing Days, but good old fair magic, right? We can't have that. Alright, so let's brainstorm here. Okay, this is kind of beautiful, actually. So we don't need the second tutor. We don't need this, right? We could put these two away. Because we have enough, like, blue dig. So we can Thoughtseize them this turn. Or we can create another... The only issue is that if I fetch an Underground Sea here, I kind of expose myself to a Wasteland. And I don't really necessarily need to do that. I can just fetch a black here and Thoughtseize. And then next turn, sort of dig for a little bit more. Let's just fetch a nice basic. And let's Thoughtseize. Let's take a look at what's going on over there. Leyline Binding, Swords of Will. Swords of Will. Force of Will and Swords. Obviously, we're going to take Swords of Plowshares to stop them from killing our guy. Alright. Anyway. So, they're dead next turn? So, when I said they brought a knife to a gunfight, this is to what I was referring. Okay. So, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to get to 7. So if we go Lotus Petal, Ponder, Crack a Fetch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. All right. Lotus Petal. Cast, Ponder. Main deck, Mindbreak Trap. They could have a bunch of stuff. We could just Thoughtseize them again. We could Rain of Filth to get our thing. We could go... What do we want to do here? I guess... Can we Thoughtseize again? No, we can't, right? We take the land. Let's just double check real quick here. We could just take Rain of Filth. Sack. That gives us Delirium. Rain of Filth is all in, though. But... I guess it's just the best thing to do. Actually, we can go 1, 2, 3. No. And then we can Preordain for that land. Get the other land. And then we put this on the bottom. Put this on the top. Play the land. Cast the Rain of Filth. Tap this for a black. Sacrifice. Play LED. Play LED. They could have a kill for this. They could have... Oh, they have Leyline Binding for this. That's fine. Right? I have to get it out of here, right? There's no way to play 2 of these without them having access to killing 1. So now we go Cabal Ritual. And then we have 8 Storm and they're at 18. So we cast this. And we can crack this for a red. It doesn't actually matter what we get here. We don't actually even need to crack this. So we're not gonna. And we're going to get Tendrils of Agony. And we're going to cast Tendrils. Bonk. Bonk. Alright. Tendrils for 20. Alright. So. I mean, it's easy game 1 when they have a bunch of Leyline Bindings and swords and shit. And before Fluster main. Yeah, I mean, they would have had me. Alright, so... we want the 4th Duress in, for sure. Now, we want Duress. They're going to have a bunch of hate. The question is, what kind of permanent-based hate are they going to have? I think we can bring in Chain of Vapors in case they have any permanent-based hate. Iteration is banned in Legacy. We're free! Alright, so what are they going to have? They could potentially have Veil of Summers. I think I'm going to bring in these 3 cards. On the off chance that they have some permanent-based hate. Yeah, I agree. Delver's going to be fine. Delver's going to be Delver. They're going to play Stifles again, or they're going to play Rug or something, you know? And they're going to be fine. But the initiative deck takes a big bonk in the face, which is good. So we're going to bring in Duress. We're going to bring in 2 Chain of Vapors. And we're going to cut a Preordain. And we're going to cut 2 Preordains. And guess we could cut another Preordain. And then if we ever draw a Chain of it, I don't know what he's doing, right? Like, my Legacy knowledge has dipped, so I don't know what kind of permission anti-storm cards he's going to have. So, we're just going to see. Alright, we're going to keep this. We're going to see what kind of storm shit he's playing. Triome, huh? Alright, so we're just going to go... I was going to go Swamp Duress. But I actually think that we're able to get Underground Sea here and Duress. Because if they're fucking around with Leyline Binding, they probably don't have the stuff, the tools to fight, to include Wasteland. Right? Like, you don't play Leyline Binding plus... Motherfucker, I guess you do. I guess you do play fucking Wasteland plus a million colors. You see, you think you know a guy. I guess you do play Wasteland plus a million colors. Alright, let's talk a little shit. Let's talk a little shit. Alright, so we got... Look at the top X cards of your library. X is number 9 basic land, blah, 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 blah. So basically this is 3 mana, look at 5. Put in any order. The Hydroblast does straight destroy our Burning Wish here, but we can play around this Hydroblast. So let's get rid of the Shadow Prophecy. Yield. Alright, so we know their hand. I did in no way play around Wasteland. You see, you don't play around Wasteland 1 fucking second. 1 fucking second. You're like, nah, I can fetch a non-basic. You get immediately punished. Immediately punished to the maximum capacity. Am I going to do it again? Yes, I am. I want this Brainstorm to be a good, perfect Brainstorm. I could play the Lotus Petal and the Bloodstained Mire. But I think I'll just play the Volcanic here. I don't really want to do this Brainstorm just yet. Alright. Played the Misty. How do I feel about Delver? Which version do you think will be best? I think there will be... it's hard to find room because you have to play Baubles now. So it's harder to find room for, like, the cards you want to play in the deck. Okay. I don't know. I would imagine some version with some Rug version, maybe, with green cards to try and go late game for card advantage, like Life from the Loam to replace Iteration and Minskimbu to sort of replace Iteration. I would imagine some kind of Rug list, because I think Rug has a better chance of going late game because of Life from the Loam and Minskimbu. Alright. So we can try and kill them. We definitely want to resolve the Burning Wish here. So I'm going to end of turn Brainstorm. I'm going to end of turn Brainstorm here. So we can set up going, play this. We're only going to shuffle away 1 card. But it's going to be okay. Alright, so we're going to shuffle away. We'll put back land, untap, draw land. Draw land. And now we're going to get our... I'm going to get a swamp here. And we're going to resolve the Burning Wish. And we're going to get Peer into the Abyss. And then next turn, we start off with the Duress and attempt to murder them. Could we do it now? Let's see. Play this. Play a Petal. Dark Ritual. 3 plus 3. It's not enough, right? 5, 6, 7. Not enough. 5. It's 5 mana. 3, and then it... Oh my god, I'm losing my fucking mind, man. I haven't played this deck in so long. My brain is mush. Okay, so this gives us 3 mana. Then this costs 2 mana and gives us 5 mana. So we have 6 mana. We have 6 mana. There's no need to rush. That's not enough for Duress. We have a clock of 1. We're just going to pass the turn. And we're going to Duress them next turn. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if Wizards went back to, like, some form of schedule around bans and restricted list, so people would be able to prepare, right? It'd be nice if Wizards was like, all right, well, we're going to do a set release every blah, 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 right? So But no, they're just like, yeah, we're going to do it whenever, and fuck you. It'd be nice if it was like, all right, with the new set, we do blank, you know? But no. Hopefully they don't have a him here. Him would be the worst case scenario. No, they put up a green, ponder, yep. White Plume Adventure on Monday. All right. So, good news. They don't have a Veil of Summer up. So, what do we know about their hand? They've brainstormed, so their hand's all gone. So, we know nothing about their hand. Let's cast Duress. Target you. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Sorry, friendo. Okay. Now we're going to crack. Now we're going to get you. Now we have you into you into blank. I would like to draw 23 cards, please. Yes. Might as well play you. 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 Black. Dark Ritual. Play you. Alright. Well. They drew the wrong part of their deck to beat us. Their deck is designed to prey on Delver now. Or like the fair decks. And, we got kind of lucky to dodge some of their hate, I'd have to imagine. Yeah. Is 23 cards really enough? I think you know the answer. What a glorious day. It is a glorious day. It is a great day for America. Okay, so this hand's kind of rough. This fetches a non-basic, because it's Bloodstained Mire, so we have to get Underground Sea, so we're exposed to Wasteland. But we're on the draw. We'll keep. We can always go Lotus Petal, Brainstorm, shuffle away shit. Bloodstained Mire of their own, huh? A Bloodstained Mire of their own, eh? So the decks that would play Bloodstained Mire would be either our Degenerate deck or Reanimator. There's the Craig Ferguson mug. The old Bloodstained Mire mirror. Alright, we're going to get a little funky here. Are we going to get funky, or are we just going to ponder? We have too many bad cards in our hand. We're going to get a little funky. Alright, we're going to Brainstorm. I don't need this Past in Flames. Alright, I don't need Past in Flames. I don't need second Infernal Tutor. I probably don't need second. There's a Grixis Delver list. That's why I played the land to play around days. It looks foolish that I played the land now because I drew these. But there's a potential that they have a day. This is Grixis Delver because Grixis Delver used to play Mire. And then you could like crack and get it. So I guess we're going to put back this. Then we're going to crack and we're just going to ponder. And Underground Sea, ponder. I expect an Entomb into us dying next turn. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And yield to the turn. Next turn, we get to do some stuff. Turn off auto yield. Bloodstained Mire. Entomb. Cool. Neato. Grizzlebrand. Alright, well, I needed to hit a Duress. How dead am I? This is actually good. They can only draw 7. Terrific. Well, we should have kept the Past in Flames. Alright, I'm just yielding. Only 7. Only 7. Entomb, yes. Atraxa. Oh, goody. Yeah, good, Atraxa. Oh, Atraxa doesn't really. It got an Unmask and a Grief. Alright, fucko. Alright, fucko. Okay. Well, this time we were the ones bringing the butter knife to the gunfight. Alright, so surgical duress, chain. What are we cutting? We're cutting Preordains for these. Mana value. We're also cutting Rain of Filth. Rain of Filth too slow. Alright. Okay. Well, let's try this again. Let's try this again. This is one of the tougher matchups in Legacy. And one of the reasons people hate Legacy is because of decks like this. So one of the reasons people hate Legacy is because I just died on turn 2. That was great. I cast fair magical cards and I was punished by an unfair world. Alright, so this hand obviously we cannot keep because we could just die. I could ponder into a Duress or a Thoughtseize, but that's kind of a high risk, and we kind of have some duds in our hands, so I'm going to mulligan. Alright, we have Surgical. Huh. I'm kind of inclined to keep this. That's so bad, though. We can't keep it. We can't, I mean, alright, let's look. So if we keep this, we go 1, 2, play, and we have to put back what? Are we pricing ourselves into Duress? Yeah, I think this hand is unkeepable, right? Like, we have... Nah, we got a mulligan. Alright, boom. Snap keep. Boom! Snap keep. Put back... Burning Wish LED. Done. Alrighty. Chancellor of the Annex. You fucking fuck. Oh, this is so annoying. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Chancellor is one of the most annoying cards of all time. You may reveal this card in your opening hand. If you do, when each opponent casts their first spell, counter it unless that player pays 1. So, it's really hard to see. Like, if you don't know what you're looking for and you're just, like, paying attention to here, you're just like, la-di-da-di-da-di-da, cast my first spell, you're going to get wrecked by this. Because it only shows up right here. Right? It only shows... Crack your fetch? No. Let's not get carried away. We're just going to pass the turn. We're just going to pass the turn. But you always have to be paying attention for this little button right here. Dark Ritual. Uh-huh. Entomb. Uh-huh. Grizzlebrand. Alright, I'm going to get an Underground Sea. I'm going to Surgical the Grizzlebrand. I'm going to pay 2 life. I'm going to pay 1 for the Chancellor. Bonk. 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 Alright, what the fuck's going on here? So we have Archon, Chancellor, Faithless. They played Basic Swamp. They have Underground Sea. They don't have the red for this. And then what? Let's check out their deck. Archon. So they have Atraxa Archon, 2 Archons, 2 Chancellors, a bunch of Griefs, and nothing else scary. 2 Show and Tells, 1 Thoughtseize. Fuck is wrong with these, Pete? 1 Thoughtseize? Thoughtseize so good. So good. I guess they have the Unmask and the Grief, but only 1 Thoughtseize, huh? Wild to me. Alright, so they don't have the red. That's good to know. Good to know, good to know, good to know. No silences, no flusterstorms, none of that bullshit. Right? That's important to check your opponent's deck for that kind of stuff. Alright, so they got nothing. Alright. And that's why Surgical's busted. Ponder. Lotus Petal, Lotus Petal. Ad Nauseam. So that's enough for Ad Nauseam, right? We draw the Lotus Petal. Next turn we draw the other Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Boink. Cast you. Yield through the turn. Okay. Now, we will show them our version of Unfair Magic. This is our version of Unfair Magic. Dark Ritual. Bonk. Bonk. Ad Nauseam. Alright, so this is what we're drawing. Look up here. Don't look here. Alright, land. Tendrils is not. Ugh! What the hell? Okay. Lands, good. We have no mana. We can't die, though. We can't die. We cannot die. Okay, so at this point, we still can't die, because if you look at our CMC, right, these are gone, right? So our CMC is everything less, but we still don't have the stuff to kill them, right? We still don't have the stuff to kill them. Thank you, Burnt. Thank you, Burnt. Gifted 12 months of tier 1? Holy shit, dude. Thank you. Alright, we gotta stop now. We have to stop now. We're too deep. We got all this stuff though. So we could just like take our time here. I didn't even see it either. I was paying attention to this. Thank you, Burnt. You too kind. I guess we will just duress them. We will take the Dark Ritual. And let's see. What are we going to discard? I guess we'll discard the Thoughtseizes. We can discard the fetch lands. Actually, we'll probably keep a fetch land for Brainstorm. So we'll keep a fetch land, get rid of all this. Alright, we're going to go to our... I guess we could play this, right? There's no reason not to just play it. We could keep going, but... It's turn 3. There's no reason to go crazy here. Thoughtseize go, Thoughtseize... So this goes, this... And that goes. Alright, so we should be able to find a way to get them with all this next turn. Yeah, but there's no reason to. Like, we need to hit like multiple LEDs. Like, what's the reason? Their hand is not good. Oh, I guess they could just kill us here. They could just kill us if they hit. If they hit with this Faithless Looting, we could just die. So maybe it was a reason to keep going. Yeah. I should have pitched the looting. See, this is what I'm saying when I'm rusty, man. I'm so rusty at this game. Just dead. Even if we kept going, yeah. So I threw this game away. I threw this game away because I was feeling confident and I was like, nothing matters. But yeah, I should have pitched the Faithless Looting. If I pitch the Faithless Looting, I win the game. Ritual is used. Yeah, we messed up. But at the same time, right? At the same time, if I don't take the Ritual, and they draw this land, they can cast the Ritual and then cast the Faithless Looting, right? So it really didn't matter. I had to dodge them drawing a red. Because if they have the Ritual, then they go Ritual, cast Faithless Looting. Right? They still have a red. They still have the same thing floating. And the exact same thing happens. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah. No, it's not the same. I should have taken the Faithless Looting. But I didn't, like, the Ritual, they just cast the Faithless Looting if they draw the red, right? No, they wouldn't. You're right, they wouldn't. But, I mean, this last card in their hand could be a land. They could have hit a land and killed us then. We got unlucky with the Ad Nauseam. We didn't hit a single ritual with the Ad Nauseam. And even if I kept going, right? Like, let's say I cast the Brainstorm or whatever to keep going, I would have whiffed. Yeah, it's true. I could have taken both, so... But I wanted to use the Petal for next turn because we had just no mana. So this was a punt. I could have won that game. Could have won that game. I don't know. That was frustrating. We could have petaled both. It's tough. It's tough. Alright. But if you take the Faithless Looting, they could just go Ritual, Flashback, Faithless Looting if they draw red. So it seemed like to me the odds of them drawing like a grief that they could hardcast or something like that, right? Because they still could get the Faithless Looting anyway. So that's why I took the Ritual. It ended up being wrong, but that's why we took the Ritual. Yeah. Alright. So, they have a Dragon Rage Channeler. They're playing Delver. They didn't get the memo. But Delver's still going to be cracked. Delver's still going to be the best deck. And it's not going to be close. Playing this exposes us to Wasteland. But I kind of think that we should just have access to Brainstorm here. I'm going to just cast this Brainstorm now. I'm going to just cast it now. Alright. So let's do some planning. So we can put back... Just put back the tutors like that. They're probably going to waste this. Misstep. Delver's going to replace it with Misstep, the Mercurial Spell Dancer, and some number of Stifles. Probably. Okay, so we're playing against Death Shadow. Apparently they're going to replace it with Death Shadow. That's what they're replacing it with, Death Shadows. Alright. So I'm going to Infernal Tutor here for another Dark Ritual. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Lotus Petal. I don't really want to draw the Burning Wish, so I'm going to Infernal Tutor here for another Dark Ritual. They counter this, I don't care. I want another Dark Ritual for Storm. Dark Ritual, yield, Dark Ritual, yield. So now, as long as we don't draw another land next turn, we can just kill them. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, because if they're playing Death Shadow, they're probably playing Thoughtseize's main. So maybe I should have kept the 2 Infernal Tutors in my hand. They're upkeep looking for a land here. See, they are playing the Thoughtseizes. So it's possible I wanted to keep the second Infernal Tutor as opposed to doing what I did, but... Alright. Number 1. Let us cast Thoughtseize, target them. Thoughtseize. Force a Will, Force a Will, Force a Will, Force a Will. Death Shadow, Painful Truth, Snuff Out. Painful Truth. What are they gonna? What is Delver gonna replace EI with? Painful Truths. Alright, let's take a Force of Will here. So, if we crack this in Dark Ritual, they could just Force of Will it and ruin our plans, and we just are down 2 cards. We could just wait, right? There's no reason that we can't just wait. I think we have the tools to kill them with the Past in Flames. So we can just wait and then go next turn, start off Thoughtseize, take the Force of Will. And we can just yield. I'm in no rush. What are they going to draw next turn that could actually hurt us? Besides Brainstorm into Thoughtseize, which they have not done. Alright, so we go to 8. No big deal. Go to 8. The thing with this deck is you're allowed to be patient, right? Cast Duress. Cast Duress. Take Force of Will. Now we go Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. We have to cast the Thoughtseize to empty our hand. So we'll take the Murktide. Then we float a red, float a blue, cast Rain of Filth. So now we cast Infernal Tutor. And we're going to get Past in Flames. Alright, hold on. Yeah, we can get Past in Flames. Past in Flames. Cast. Past in Flames. Alright, now we go crack Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Infernal Tutor. Tendrils of Agony. Bonk. Okay. The flawless victory. The no permanence victory. Alright. So this matchup is going to be a little bit trickier because they're going to have Thoughtseizes. So they're going to be able to offensively attack our hand. So we want Fatal Push, right? And we want... Does Feed the Swarm... Destroy target creature enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal that permanent's mana value. Do we want this against, like, Shadow? It can also kill, like, some bullshit, like, if they play Maddening Hacks or Counterbalance or something. So... it might be good. It might be good to play these two. These 3 cards. For Flusterstorm. These for, like, creatures. King Eric. FFM. Thank you for the 10 months. Thank you. Alright, so let's cut Preordains. And let's cut the Rain of Filth. We're going to have to assume that they're on Wasteland, right? And Rain of Filth on the draw versus Wasteland doesn't seem that great. Alright, let's try this. Let's try it like this, and let's see what they're up to. Let's see what kind of hate they've got. Okay, so this hand is kind of rough, because we have the Tendrils and the Past in Flames. But, I guess we could keep it. Maybe they go down low enough. Maybe they, like, Thoughtseize us low enough, so we could be, like, Tendrils you. Maybe they, like, crack, fetch, shock, do all kinds of bullshit, and then we're able to just Tendrils them for, like, 5. Okay. No, they're just going to Thoughtseize us. We're doing good. What's up, Brian? Yeah, but I mean, who knows, right? You'd think no shot. If you would have told me that they were playing Painful Truths, I would have told you there's no shot, right? So I think it's a new meta, and there's a lot of possibilities that are open. So you can't close your mind off and say, well, they're probably not playing this because it's so new. What? Why you kept that hand? Why not? You know, I mean, they're going to Thoughtseize my hand anyway. All I need to do is find a Brainstorm. Like, why not keep this hand? Passive Flames is good against this kind of hand hate and stuff. Infernal Tutor Delta. You know, I probably need an Infernal Tutor, so let's top that. We're looking for a Brainstorm to, like, put some of this away, or Ponder. Is it finally the Stiflement? I don't know. Do you think any physical cards only slot into decks besides Catherine? There was an article about the Legacy Chicken Dip Open or whatever. And I think this card, if you're talking about 40k cards that spot in, this card's like played in this Rakdos Painter deck. Where you like weld it in and stuff. Chaos Defiler's played. This card's destroying a random permanent. It's kind of cracked. Okay, so we're just gonna play the Delta. And we're going to... We could Infernal Tutor for another Dark Ritual here. But then we expose the Infernal Tutor to Thoughtseize. I'm going to do that. Or not expose it to Thoughtseize. We expose it to... we expose it to Surgical. But it's okay. We're just going to cash it in. We do expose this to Surgical, but we already have the Tendrils. So if they Surgical this, they're gonna go to 15, and it's gonna be pretty easy to kill them with Paths in Flames and shit. So I'm okay with them Surgicaling this. Because we have everything we need right here. We just need to turn our spells into other spells. And we just need a Thoughtseize or a Duress to look at their hand and see what we gotta beat. And then once we get that, we can just go off here. Volcanic DRC. Alright, a 1-1 for 1. Why would you play a 1-1 for 1? That seems terrible. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. I guess we Burning Wish here. I'm gonna get a Volcanic, and I'm gonna Burning Wish. Yes. What am I going to get here? What am I going to get? Am I going to get Empty? Am I going to get Tendrils? I could get Pier. I kind of like Empty. And then next turn we just pop off and they have to respect Empty. This does race the Empty. So does a Murktide. Maybe we just get a Preordain and then Preordain a little bit. No, that doesn't seem that great. Alright, let's get an Empty. We could Empty this turn, but let's just wait till next turn. Wish for Preordain. I would love to have wished for I would have loved to have wished for a Duress there. We did board in the Duress. Thoughtseize. Okay. I'm yielded. I am yielded. They pitched a Wasteland, so we know they do have Wastelands. I mean, obviously they had Wastelands. You don't register Dragon Rage Channeler unless you're playing Wasteland. In my 2020 Legacy. 2023 Legacy. So they only have 4 cards in hand. But there were Delver lists in the past that were cutting Wasteland because EI was just better. So they were just on 4 expressive iterations, like 1 or 2 Wastelands. They took the Empty. Kind of wild. Kind of wild. Alright, so they don't have a Murktide. Oh, the Leyline of the Void. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Leyline, huh? Kind of wild. Leylines could be an issue in Game 3. Something we can think about. Maybe bringing in a Chain of Vapor against... Chain of Vapor is also very good against Murktides. Alright. 2 Leylines pitched. So they probably have the full 4 here. So we should definitely be bringing in some number of Chain of Vapors. They're also good at buying time. But the one card... the one card can just kill them. So that's kind of cool. Alright. So let's see. let us Preordain looking for a Thoughtseize. Fatal Push, Brainstorm. Well, these cards are both terrific. I'm going to top. Then I'm going to Brainstorm. Then I'm going to put... I really don't like the fact that I don't have a way to look at their hand. I really don't like that. So I'm going to put back Lotus Petal, and I'm going to put back this, and I'm going to play this, and I'm going to just kill this. And I'm going to crack this now to play around Stifle, and I'm going to get the Badlands. And then next turn, we're going to attempt to do some crazy shit. Or not really, because they don't have a threat, right? They don't have a threat. They don't have anything. We can just chill, you know? We can just chill here. Oh, they do have a threat. We can't chill. We just need to draw a Duress or a Thoughtseize. That's annoying. Alright. Can we please draw a Thoughtseize or Duress? Thank you. If we Dark Ritual first, something bad happens. Boink. Brainstorm. The old hide the goodies, eh? Baleful Strix. Why is Baleful Strix still in the deck? What? What is this doing? Alright. Thoughtseize resolve? What? Does that just mean they're dead? Yeah. Dark Ritual. Pass in Flames, Dark Ritual, Duress, Tendrils. Probably kill them. Alright, we're just gonna start, and they're probably gonna die. Dark Ritual. Past in Flames. Dark Ritual. And dead. Monk. Okay, that was weird. Weird game. I kind of thought their hand would be better. But it's probably not a good brainstorm for them. But they're dead. They are deceased. So, fair. We're playing against It's Unfair. We'll keep this. His hand's not the best hand, but, you know. Volcanic Island. We'll get a nice basic island. Cast the Preordain. Do I want the... I don't need the land. I probably want the Duress. Yield to the turn. We probably don't need to Duress now. We could probably be a little patient. We just need to get to... Okay, so... Ooh, that's lovely. That's lovely right there. Let's cast Brainstorm. Boo. Boo. What are people going to replace EI with? Minor Misstep. Boo. 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 Okay. Fine. I don't really want to crack the Bloodstained Mire and Duress them into a daze. I don't really feel that that's necessary. Feel like you're taking crazy pills because Mental Misstep feels completely unplayable to me. I mean, it counters Brainstorm, it counters swords, it counters threats, it counters... You know, counters a lot of stuff. What the fuck? The fuck is that? Alright, opponent. Alright. Alright. Let's get a swamp. I guess I should have Duress them. I guess I should. Oh, they have a Brainstorm on top? Are you kidding me? Oh, boy. Alright, so let's think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is not enough. 7. I'm going to get the Lotus Petals in play now. It's reducing my Storm, but I can get them in play. What a fuck. I guess I needed to Duress them. I guess mental misstep count. Like, what the fuck? Ugh. Alright. The only reason I'm not conceding is because I want to see more of their deck. I want to see what they're up to. Okay. So they're holding up a counterspell here. They're holding up Brainstorm into counterbalance. Alright. I guess we could have Duressed them into Brainstorming, but... Alright. Thoughtseize. I guess we'll start off with Thoughtseize. And they'll Brainstorm, and in response, we'll Brainstorm. They're cracking their fetch. Mystics. Alright. Alright. Okay, we're just going to be done here. I don't want to fuck around with this. Yeah, I don't want to fuck around with that. Did I concede already? I thought I conceded. Alright, so how do we beat that shit? We need this. We want this. I think we want empty. I don't see them having a board wipe if we bring in empty. Chain seems good too. We can cut some of these. And we can cut this. Mana value. Alright. Yeah, St. Catherine looks pretty sweet. Alright. We'll keep this. We'll keep this. And we'll Thoughtseize them. Alright, we'll Thoughtseize them. Alright, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Him, Thoughtseize, Force of Will. What the fuck is this? Is this the same deck that went... Wow. Alright, I guess I gotta take this Force of Will. They'll Thoughtseize me, and they'll take what? Take the Force. Alright. My hand's not really that... I mean, they're going to Thoughtseize to take the Ponder. But if they take the Ponder, like, I don't really care. I would care if they draw a second black here, and they can him me. But I don't care where Pier is. Like, Passive Flames could be in the graveyard. They'll take the Ponder. Well... Oh, you could take the him now. Flusterstorm him? Jesus Christ. I'll take the Flusterstorm. Alright. Okay. Well, it's a top deck war. It's a top deck war. Dark Ritual Tendrils. Does this give me the stuff to kill them next turn? Hold on. Alright. Let's do some thinking. We draw, play the lands. Draw the Dark Ritual. And then we pat. Alright, we're going to do it like this. No. Play this. Yield. Alright. So now they play the Tropical Island. So now we have... Okay. So let's take a look. We're drawing... I think we want the Dark Ritual. Let's draw the Dark Ritual. Now. 1, 2, 3... 5. We'll have 1 mana left over. We won't be able to kill them, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Past in Flames flashback. They'll have 1 mana, which we'll cast, and then cast this, and that's not enough. So we'll just stop here, and we'll set an upkeep stop, and we'll pass the turn. Abundant Growth. Alright, so we don't know any of the cards in their hand. The fuck is this? Oh boy. Estrich Invocation. You may have Estrich Invocation into the battlefield as a copy of enchantment you control, except at the beginning of your upkeep you may exile this enchantment. If you do, return it to the battlefield under your control. So basically they're going to draw a card every turn. Alright. If we draw Tendrils, what happens? We draw Tendrils. We go Dark Ritual. We go crack, 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 crack. Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual. It's still not enough to kill them. Right? It's just still not enough to kill them. So we don't draw it. Alright, let's get a Volcanic here. We need like an LED. Oh shoot, I should set the Stream Decker export. Sorry, forgive me. Forgive me, I never did the Stream Decker. I'm a bad streamer. Upload new. Storm. Okay, it says current. Alright, forgive me. Now the deck list is there. Deck. Okay. Okay, so we cast Dark Ritual. Alright, we cast Dark Ritual. That's 3, 4, 5. Then we have access to this, and we're just using a Ponder to dig. The mono red prison decks are the same. They're the same fucking deck from that time. They had Rabble Master. They had, you know, they're pretty much the same decks. Sneak and Show is the same. Sneak and Show hasn't changed a card. I would say Sneak and Show from 2015. I guess if we were to do this, it would not be deterministic. And I kind of want to wait. But I also don't want them to have mana, so I guess we wait 1 turn. We can wait a little bit. They do draw a card at the beginning of the turn. Yeah, Embiggen doesn't even exist on Moto. That's what I get for waiting. Alright, well, do we feel like we should wait until we draw Duress? I guess they have a counterspell anyway. Surgical the Past in Flames. Lovely. Lovely. Alright. Well, some people are just prepared. Some people are prepared. That's really, really bad for us. Ad Nauseam wins. Ad Nauseam. Okay. All right. Ad Nauseam would win. They're drawing 2 cards a turn, which is obviously very good for us. Very, very good for us. What's the name of the enchantment that copies and exiles? Estrid's Evocation. Alright, so they're just going to return the Force of Will. Nice. Alright. GG's. Well, their deck's ready to beat ours. They're ready to beat what we're doing. Thoughtseize him. Plus Flusterstorm Surgical. Okay. Okay. This hand's pretty good. We got Ponders. We got a bunch of mana. We have all we need to kill them. Seat of the Synod. Huh? Alright. So we're playing against artifacts. As long as they don't chalice us, we'll be okay. Emery. Yep. Emery. Ancient Tomb. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're going to see a lot of decks that are going to try and go over Delver now. Right? They'll play this, like, long game where they'll try and go over what Delver's capable of doing. I guess we want both of these cards. Top. I'm going to play this LED so we don't get Chalice Stun zeroed. Alright. I mean, even though they're not likely to Chalice Stun zero us because of the baubles that they're going to be casting, you never know with this weird deck what these people are up to. Pithing Needle. That does not work on LED. Does work on Polluted Delta, though. Wishclaw Talisman. Hell yeah. Well. The problem with this deck has always been, like, bauble. So they know that we're drawing the Thoughtseize. The question is, do we... I guess we Preordain now to look for another piece of black mana. We look for a Dark Ritual or something. Preordain. Oh, hello. Top. Crack. Get a swamp. Cast Dark Ritual. Cast Thoughtseize. How many Force Wills do I see? Do I see 1 Force Will? Or do I see 2 Force Wills? I see 1 Force Will. Chalice. How do they have 2 chalices? And they didn't cast a chalice. What the fuck? I'll take your Force Will. And I will also take your life. Alright, cast this. Sack. Cast this. Cast this. Cast Infernal Tutor. We can just Tutor Chain, right? We have all the mana in the world. We'll just get black. And we'll just get Infernal Tutor. Cast Infernal Tutor. Get Infernal Tutor. Cast Infernal Tutor. Get Infernal Tutor. Even though we don't need to do this one. Cast Infernal Tutor. It's a true tutor chain, right? Because we get all the tutors. An actual tutor chain. I didn't need to do the last one. But sometimes it's about sending a message. Now, messages, play your chalices. Okay. So, we want Echoing Truth. We want Meltdown. I'm here for the tutoring. Yeah, me too. I don't know anything. So we want these cards. We don't want random 1-drops that get dinged into Chalice. So... we'll bring in these. And we'll bring in... I guess we'll leave in this random 1-drop that gets dinged by Chalice. Alright. Echoing Truth, these. The question is, what's better? A Duress? A 4th Duress? Or a Preordain? And if I'm bringing in 4 Duresses every single game, should I just be playing 4 Duresses? Alright. Well, this hand has some issues with a Chalice on one. Keep. They've revealed the Ponder. They saw a Ponder. I'm just gonna ponder my way. Oh. The rest of you. I'll take your Chalice of the Void, please. Thank you. What the fuck is this hand? What is that hand? That's pretty rough. Their deck looks sweet, though. All the old arts looks really sweet. Did they draw a Chalice? Oh, fuck you. That's horseshit. Oh, well. So their hand is these. That sucks. It's going to be very hard to beat this hand. It's going to be very difficult to beat this double Chalice stuff. Arkin, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. We are trying to experiment with this format, this new format called Legacy. Good games earlier. We're losing to Chalice. It wouldn't be a Storm League if we didn't just get wrecked by Chalice, right? Stole your trophy. I'm sorry. If it makes you feel any better, I'm getting destroyed today. Mostly on my own volition. Sometimes people just hate Storm. They're just here with the Storm hate. They're here with the Chalices on one. The Force of Wills. I need a tiger. I got demolished by the control deck later, if that makes you feel any better. Last round, I just got destroyed by control. I think I'm getting destroyed this game, too. Chalice on one is just so backbreaking for this deck. Just cannot handle Chalice on one. And they're sitting there with 2 Force of Wills, too. So the odds of us winning this game are like negative 1,000. Yeah, we're just gonna concede. The odds of me drawing the 3 outs while they have double Force of Will in their hand are very slim. Yeah, we're just running it back. I kind of want to bring in Surgicals for their fucking Chalices. But Surgical for Chalice is not a good answer, obviously. But Duresses and Thoughtseizes are very good answers against Chalice. I thought it was a good answer, but then they ripped one and we lost the game on the spot. Would you like to play first? Yes. I think we could do better. Perfect. Put you back. Done. Alright. Show me that Chalice. Give me that Chalice. Get that Chalice out of here. Okay. Well, we got a hymn. We cast a hymn to Torok. We cast him on the first turn. Beautiful. I mean, Decay is great, but, you know, Decay has a real cost in a Wasteland format. Let's cast a Brainstorm. Do we just go for the win here? Can we go for the win? Let's see. We'd put back these two. This is 3. for... So we're going to count Delirium. Can we cast this with Delirium? So let's see. We put these two back. That's 3. Play this. Crack it. That's 4. Dark Ritual is 5. Dark Ritual is 6. This does not have Threshold. So that being said, we put back. We don't go for it this turn. So we'll put back Swamp. We still need to put back 2 cards. Do we put back these 2? And then we ponder. Yeah, we probably put back these 2. And we play this, crack this for Volcanic. And we ponder. Duress, Cabal Ritual, Duress. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully they don't chalice us here. But they probably have a chalice and we probably lose the game. They don't have it. It appears they do not have it. Alright. Dark Ritual. Duress you. Dark Ritual, Duress. They have Fairy Macabre. Well, that's crazy. That's so annoying that they have Fairy Macabre. Why the fuck do they have Fairy Macabre? Okay. Shit. So what is that gonna do? We're not using the graveyard except for to get the Threshold. Yeah, how much mana does it give us? So we're gonna cast it. They're gonna take away 2 things. I guess we could just wait. No, we can't really wait. I wish we had more mana. We're drawing Duress next turn. We can't draw Duress. I guess we just need to cast both of them. We just spew the Cabal Rituals. Fairy is very strong here. I guess we're just waiting, right? We're drawing a Duress next turn. Alright, so if we cast a Cabal Ritual, they're going to make us discard 3. We're going to go to 3 mana, and we're going to have 5 cards in our graveyard. This is going to resolve. Then we'll go to 3 mana. Then we resolve this one. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get Delirium. So I'm just going to pass the turn and waste a thingy. That's so rough. That is unbelievably rough that they had the Macabre. Alright, so they're going to Hull Breach us here. We're drawing the Duress, which doesn't do anything. But the Duress does add to Threshold. But they're probably going to get a thingy off this, which causes me to... Alright, so if we cast Cabal Ritual, they're going to take 2 cards out. Alright, so we cast Cabal Ritual, right? They take 2 cards out. This Cabal Ritual resolves, giving us 6 cards. Then we cast Duress. Then we cast Cabal Ritual. Then we can Infernal Tutor, but we're not anywhere, right? We're nowhere we want to be because we don't have the mana to get Ad Nauseam, which is what we need to get. So I'm just going to Duress them, and I'm going to pass the turn. They're going to get a Soul Guide Lantern off this, and all this graveyard stuff's going to be nothing anyway. Because Saga's broken. And we're going to lose this game because of the Cabal Ritual and they're attacking our graveyard. Duress you. Sure. Duress you. Take the Force of Will. Alright. They do not know we have 2 Cabals. That's true. So maybe they get a 0. We did swipe a Force of Will out of their hand. Soul Guide Lantern, nice. Alright, we have 1 turn to draw a LED, or we lose. 1 turn to draw something good here. We're dead. I guess we're not dead, but like, oh, these Cabal Rituals are just a total disaster here. Because I can put the Chalice on 1 back. That sucks. Well, this deck is hard to beat. No, I'm not dead, but I'm dead, right? Fairy Macabre was just too strong. I had everything I needed, but they had a Fairy Macabre. Very rough. Yeah. Guess we could just keep going a little bit. Maybe we draw Meltdown. We have like 1 turn. We have like 2 turns to draw Meltdown. They had to bring back Chalice. But I had to duress them to get rid of the... Yeah, let's just concede. Not a very good showing. Still rusty with the deck. Still rusty. Very rusty with the deck. I don't know. Like... Very rusty with the deck. I don't know about the sideboard. Don't know. That one deck, I don't think we could beat in a million years. But, I mean, I guess if you look at the matchups, right? You look against the 1 player, and if we double duress them, we would have won. That would have been 1 game. I think we should have duressed in the other game. So I can point to a potential mistake in this game. A potential choice that would have made a difference here. A potential choice that would have made a difference here. And we could have possibly... If we drew a little bit better here, right? If we got had a little bit nicer of an Ad Nauseam in this game, we could have won. And this game was a little bit... You know, if they didn't have exactly... If they didn't have exactly Fairy Macabre, we would have killed them. That was a little frustrating. So, I don't think... And It's Unfair just murdered us. Like, main deck Counterbalance just murdered us. No, you need to take Force of Will with Duress. You like need to be able to take Force of Will with Duress. Echo doesn't really work with Ant because the problem with Echo is that Ant is you need to grind. The fundamental problem with Echo of Eons in any Storm deck, right, is that if you go for it and you dump your hand, if your opponent has a counterspell, they're just going to counter it. And if they don't have a counterspell, they're going to draw 7 cards worth of counterspells. And you, as a Storm player, like as an Ant player, you kind of attack their hand over the course of a game where you duress, Thoughtseize, whatever, till you get to the point where you have you've sculpted the perfect hand and you have taken away their hand. And playing Echo just sort of negates all that and says, hope you don't draw counterspells. Thank you, Stringer. I appreciate it. So, and when you play like Hope You Don't Draw Counterspells in a format that's playing Force of Wills and Force of Negations and Flusterstorms and God knows what, that's my take on it, right? Like, if I knew that I was going to be playing against decks that weren't playing Force of Will, I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's play a bunch of those. But the decks you have to beat are playing Force of Will. And if you just give them 7 new cards, they're going to get 7 new Force of Wills. Potential. You know what I mean? They get a bunch of looks at Force of Will. So there is an inherent flaw in that. Like, let's say they have a board presence, then you give them 7 new cards. Then you have to start working your way through those 7 new cards with your Duresses and your Thoughtseizes and stuff. All right. What do you guys want to see next? What's my reason for Wino Talisman? It's just slow. It's 3 mana. It's like a 3 mana version.